Welcome, I'm Jon Caldara, president of the Independence Institute and your devil's advocate. Later on, we'll take a look at some of the races around the state. But first, something I know bothers you is the state of your roads. And I'm not talking about the highways, I'm not talking about your driveway, but in localities, in counties across the state, are county governments doing what they promised to do, which is to fix the damn roads? Someone you've known for a long time, the author of the Danish plan up in Boulder, columnists, elected officials. Man, you've done it all. Paul Danish, good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Man, you've been around too long.
That's probably true. You know, I'm now as old as Bernie Sanders.
Are you really?
Yeah. Just turned 74 a couple of weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go.
As George Will says, I'm playing with the house's money now.
And Chuck Wibby from Boulder. Now, remind me the name of the organization.
We're Boulder County Fairness and Road Maintenance.
Okay. Now, I'm just picking on Boulder because I know Boulder, I live in Boulder, and it's a good example of what's going on around the state, which our roads are not being maintained. Let me start over with here. You represent a bunch of folks who are pissed off in Boulder because the Boulder County Commissioners will not do what they're supposed to do, which is to fix the damn roads. What roads are we talking about?
Well, what we're talking about are in Boulder County, there's about 150 miles of roads that are in the subdivisions in the unincorporated sections of Boulder County. And what happened is that in about the mid-90s, the county commissioners up to that point were allocating sufficient funds from the property taxes that we all pay to maintain the roads. Everybody was happy. And then they decided to cut that percentage that they allocated by about 90%. And as a result is that they had to fight
90%.
90%.
Why would they cut it by 90%? He asks.
I have no idea, but they cut it from about 8% down to about 0.8% of the property taxes that we pay to fix and maintain our roads.
But fortunately, and let's be honest here, what's great is our property taxes went down equivocally the same amount.
No.
You know, it went down about 90%.
No, it did not.
No.
What happened is, and we were able to track it, is that while they took the money away from the roads, and if you plot it out for the 20 years, the amount of money in the commissioner's discretionary fund that they could spend on anything went up by almost the exact same amount of money.
Now, how long were they giving about 8% of the budget for road work?
Was as far back as we could tell. They used to be called road commissioners, and so it was a vital part of their job was to maintain the roads.
Right, now you've done it all. You've been on this Boulder City Council. You've been on the Boulder County Commissions, and all people I know you're running for that position again after taking a sizable hiatus. Tell me, when you were on the City Council, when you were on the County Commission later on, what was the priority for roads? Because right now, I feel that there is a real battle against cars, particularly in elitist places like Boulder, but also I think they just don't like taking care of people in rural areas. That's them. Those are the hicks, not us good people in the city.
Well, when I was there before, the issue was making sure you had enough money to take care of the roads that weren't in the subdivisions, which were about 700 miles of road. And one of the things of doing it that way, of taking the money out of the Road and Bridge Fund and putting it into the general fund, was if it was in the Road and Bridge Fund, you had to share it with the cities. And that way you had more. But that still did not give enough money to do
what do you mean you had to share it with the city? So you're commissioner, you have that 8% that goes to roads, and so Lafayette is in Boulder County, and you're supposed to give them money?
If you're in Lafayette or you're in the city of Boulder,
right,
and you own a house there, you're paying property taxes to Boulder County.
Right.
And those property taxes that were going into the Road and Bridge Fund, half of it was supposed to go to the cities, and in fact did. But if it was drawn down and put into the general fund, then the county could spend all of it on the county roads. And that was what some of the thinking on that was.
Was this to get the cities to pay more for roads?
Yep.
Nice.
We were county commissioners.
We were county commissioners.
We were not city council people. And that's kind of a hard way to look at it. But look, we had 700 miles of road. It's the main way people got between the various cities. And so that was one of the things we were looking at. At the time, and it was what was informing my decision at the time, that there were requests coming in from the subdivisions to do some things about the roads. The ones we were dealing with were people were asking for unpaved roads to be paved. at county expense, which is going a little bit beyond maintenance, and that was there's simply
creating new roads.
Yeah, well, there simply wasn't money to do it within the subdivisions. And so that was the thinking at the time. And the county had a lot less money then. The county budget when I was there 20 years ago, almost exactly 20 years ago now, was
about 100 million.
And it's a little more than that, about 150 million.
150. What is it now?
426 million.
All right, so they got some money. They're just not spending it on it. Right. Give me an idea. How bad are these roads? Now,
they're god awful.
They're god awful. I mean, really, how bad? You guys are complaining.
Let me give you an example.
Right.
We actually had a little thing when the firm endorsed me, and I went out to see one of the county roads where we were, subdivision road, and this is in Gun Barrel, which is a fairly traveled area. Yeah. And the co-chair of firm was there, and he said this morning I was out walking my dog, and there's this bicyclist in a heap on the side of the road. And the guy had hit a pothole, and he broke his collarbone, and he lacerated his leg, and it turns out he's a radiologist at one of the hospitals. And I mean, really was badly hurt. And that's fairly typical stuff.
How much of this is what we used to call the Washington Monument gamut, which is, listen, the thing we're going to spend money on the least is what people want the most. That way we can hold it for hostage, we can hold them for ransom, and if we don't put the money into this, they'll go, oh my God, we just don't have the money. Right. How much is that into play here?
We think that that's exactly the ploy that the current county commissioners are using in this situation. And the problem with what was going on is that the roads finally got so bad in the subdivisions that even the county commissioners couldn't ignore the problem anymore. So what they did is they came up with a two-pronged approach. The first thing they did is they put on the ballot a public improvement district where all 10,900 property owners would be forced to pay more taxes.
So let me put that into English for me. Okay. So instead of the county doing what they promised to do, fix the damn roads, what they're saying is, well, you guys who are complaining about it, we'll carve out a special little district for you, raise your taxes, and you pay for the roads. So you got to pay twice.
Right, exactly. And that's when our organization that I'm with, Firm, first got organized, and we defeated that ballot measure. And then what happened is that the county commissioners then unilaterally imposed exactly the same thing as a local improvement district. And so at that point, we went to court and to get that invalidated, which we did. And the court gave us a very favorable ruling about the roads belong to the counties. The counties are responsible to maintain the roads, and Boulder County wasn't maintaining these roads. But at that point, the judge didn't order the county to maintain the roads. So the county commissioner's immediate response was, we're not going to do this. And so we went back to court, and that's where we are right now.
So what I love about all of this is it mirrors so much of what's going on statewide.
Yes.
And that the rural areas, you Hicks, we don't care. We're urbanists now. Right. We will take away lanes and turn them into bike lanes. We're gonna put in transit development here and there, and it's all gonna be urban. And you guys out there, to hell with you. Solve your own problems, even though our job is to do these roads. Now, you said before there wasn't a lot of money 20 years ago when you were at the commission.
There sure is now.
What do you mean there sure is now?
Well, one reason.
Prove it to me.
Well, in 2006, Boulder County put a thing on the ballot to debruce its surplus revenues. So they have been putting surpluses into the county general fund since then. And you remember that flood we had in 2013?
Oh, I'm still paying it off. Yes, I remember the flood very well.
Yes, that's right. You live in South Boulder, so
I got hit. My ex-wife got. It was awful.
My guess is you're still bailing out your basement.
Yes.
Okay. Well, they had surpluses in the general fund, and they wanted to start doing work immediately. So they pulled like a rabbit out of the hat, $63 million out of the county general fund.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yes, it's a very good thing. And what is more, the federal government is going to reimburse that money to them for the most part.
Wow.
So they clearly have a lot of money in there.
How much money are you guys looking for to fix the roads? When were they last fixed?
In the subdivisions.
Yeah.
In some cases, they haven't been fixed in 30 years.
30 years without maintenance.
And yeah, exactly. And they're falling apart, obviously.
By the way, it sounds very much like me, 30 years without maintenance.
Yeah, tell me about it. But yeah, me too, Buster. But you know, the money is clearly there to do. Firm has estimated, and they got a consultant to do an independent estimate too. They take about $25 million, and that this could be done at $5 million a year over 5 years. And that isn't going to break any budgets. It's not going to require taking money from any
What you're doing is you're
previous
forcing a local government to do what local governments are supposed to do. You take care of sewer, you take care of roads, you take care of fire and police. These are the basic services. You don't want it. We're elitist downtown communities now. We want to do fun things and homeless projects and all sorts of more important things than help you guys out in the booths.
Yeah, and when you get down to the, you know, to the broader county road picture, you're seeing deterioration, and they're not doing, and they're doing a lot of road work this year because they managed to get a lot of it paid for by the feds under flood recovery. But the fact is, if you look at the local roads in Boulder County added 25,000 people in the last 5 years. It's going to have another 25,000 move in the next 5, and you see it in the traffic on all the roads now. They're getting beat up, so there's another road problem. And what I've proposed doing is taking part of the county open space sales tax that's going to run out at the end of 2019 and extending that and dedicating it to road repair. What the present county commissioners did is they took one look at that and said, we want to take that one half of the sales tax, instead of using it for roads, we want to use it for sustainability projects, which includes
fix the damn roads. All right, we're running out of time here. You're also pushing forward in court. What are you asking for, and where's it going?
Well, we went back to court to get the courts to basically tell the county you have to maintain the roads, order the county to do that. We've been fighting with the county over this, and the county is claiming that we don't have standing to tell them to do something that they claim is a budgetary decision.
Who gets to decide?
Yeah. Well, according to the county, they get to decide, and we don't. We as citizens have no right to tell them how to spend any of our money. And what we have argued is that this is not a single discretionary budgetary decision that just, I want my pothole fixed. This is a pattern of multi-year of discrimination against a certain group of people and refusal to do.
Is this going to court again?
Yes, we actually petitioned the Colorado Supreme Court. At the appellate court level, they told us we didn't have standing. We are now petitioned the Colorado Supreme Court. It's at the Supreme Court. We don't know whether they're going to accept it or not. We hope they do, because we think it has impact on citizens throughout the state.
Yeah, I guarantee you there are elitists and downtown urbanites looking at this saying, you can't do this. We know what's better for you folks out there.
You got it.
All right. Good luck in the election. Thank you.
Yes.
Fix the damn roads. We'll be right back.